have an enemy, or perhaps an entire group of enemies, or a nemesis? My name is Heather Feather. I am the owner of Rare Bird Medicine, and today's topic is enemy mine. I was driving down from the mountain and thinking about the word enemy. And I'm a mutt. I have several different bloods, but my great-grandmother was full-blooded Sicilian. Bless my Nana in old dimensions. I love her dearly. I loved her so much as a child. She was just so precious. And I was thinking about how enemy sounds like enemy. I got this enemy too. I make a bad guy, but I got it. And how silly that is, and how fun. Kind of like the word atonement has at one ment in it. We wanted to go home for a minute and recognize we're all one. So Heather, silly bird that she is, offers these videos constantly as somebody that is meta, thinks about what she thinks about, thinks in layers, to offer us all to be in the place of power. This is what I'm stewarding. I'm not stewarding your character. I'm not stewarding your decisions. We've never had a single day at Earth School, not one. Tell me, anybody that watches this video, point to me the day in which all two-leggeds at Earth School agreed. Okay, hasn't happened. Maybe it's not the point. You know what I mean? Possibly not the point. So Heather was considering, who are my enemies? Or where, to me, an enemy is a liar. Don't be a liar. An enemy can be a cheater. Don't be a cheater. An enemy can be, you know what I mean? Somebody that's out of integrity or blah, blah, blah. Heather lost her marriage. It's the worst thing I've ever done to a human. I've done videos on it. I lost my marriage for many reasons. I'm reminded by the people closest to me, but I like to take full responsibility. I lost my marriage because I had an affair, and that's what ended my marriage. And I'm 100% responsible for that. And it's part of why, if I choose partnership in this life, again, at any point, which would be miraculous, I am a deeply loyal, devoted being, and I will never do it again. It is literally the worst action, in my perspective, I've taken in this life. I have spent my life studying the truth, and there are still, at 5 decades deep, little ways I lie. I was telling my beloved dearest friend this very week, I'm going to get on my video game tonight. And every single night I was watching The Chosen for the 3rd time because I've been in a bit of a funk, and it lifts me to hear truth, and I didn't do it. But the thing is I often don't think that I'm an influencer, that it matters or people care if I do, if I show up or if I'm there, just based on my experiences. And she noticed that I wasn't there, that I didn't do this thing. And then I was like, wow, I wasn't my word. And it's super important to me that I be my word as a result of having learned this lesson of not having been my word to my beloved when I was in my 20s, right? That is one of the most hugely impactful lessons I've ever had. And so it's not true once a cheater, always a cheater. However, the funny thing about this life is that we can often speak about the world and others in a way that is our shadow aspect of self not integrated. So I feel like I can, get on my high horse and judge a liar, for example. They're a liar. That person is a straight liar, And truth is an interesting topic. There's components of absolute truth. Love is an absolute truth. Absolutely, it's true. But, love is XYZ, blah, blah, blah. It's not necessarily an absolute truth, because once you start defining it, you've minimized it. And so it's not always true for all beings, right? And so there's individual truth. That's why I call people opinion sacks. You are a bag of opinion sacks that you likely hold as a truth holder, not understanding that what you're actually holding is an individual truth that you've decided on based on your own value system. And somebody else over here holds an individual truth that they've decided is the truth based on their value system, and they don't align. The thing about an absolute truth is that it always aligns. It's always true. So it's likely that a lot of the things that you hold to be a fact and the truth are actually an opinion sack in you, And I was really trying to take a look at who is my enemy? And I don't feel like I have enemies. I have very challenging moments with two-leggeds that I do have to apply forgiveness because I get into judgment because I don't understand the action and behavior. I do question, like, why is this reflecting in my field? So I have to constantly work every single day in little ways to subtly course correct back to the bounty of the light of love that I am. Because my ego, just like everyone else's, it's not superior to any other ego at Earth School, wants to judge and separate, you know? That was wrong. I'm so smart. I found how you're wrong. I don't have to focus on myself, even though I'm carrying me around the whole life. Who is your enemy? Who's your nemesis? Is it a coworker? Is it a family member? Is it a group of people? Is it the group of people that don't understand your individual truth and your individual decisions? Are you superior and correct because your individual truth and your individual opinions are inclusive, you know, and theirs are more exclusive? I am not right. I say a bunch in this life, and may I say it more. Everything I've ever said could be wrong. I'm an opinion sack like the rest of us. This is just me singing my song. And I am wanting to reach those rare birds that are ready to take responsibility, the ability to respond in life to who I am being inwardly and outwardly. You'll find, and I have found in the past week or two, again and again and again, people that are super shady and doing shady things are often talking about people being shady or people being tricky, or they're probably a liar, or they're trying to trick me, or they're trying to get my blah, blah, blah. And you'll find, like, I'm literally experiencing this where a person talks about that a lot and they're doing something that I consider super shady. They've done several things that I consider shady if I want to judge it, you know, but to me, it's like, well, this was out of integrity. That was out of integrity. That was out of integrity. And a lot of your stories are about how everyone around you is out of integrity. And so I'm trying to pay attention to who's the enemy here. Yesterday on the mountain, I was recognizing it's me. I have a very hard time forgiving myself for betraying the beloved. I have a very hard time forgiving myself for any lie I've ever told, whether I was aware or not. Like, you're always capable of being more, aren't we all? Aren't we all? And aren't we stewarding this? And what could we do to lead more towards the bliss of being the authentic truth of the love that's available in us? Who is your enemy? Is it a group of people? And are they the enemy because they don't see your wise ego's ability to see things? Well, here's a question. If you live many lives, how many lifetimes did it cause you to, how many iterations of incarnation did you have to go through to become the being you are? And so once you get to an evolved, let's say you are right. Let's say you are right. Let's pretend. Let's say you are right about your super evolved perspective, you wise ego. Way to go. Good job. You nailed it. Oh my God, you're amazing. Let's say you're right. Are you telling me that you could take XYZ number of lives and they better be exactly where you are in the place of evolution and the exact hour that you reached it? They can't have unlimited time and a dream to awaken to these things? Do you see the arrogance of that? The lack of compassion? Do you see the hubris? That you are demanding all beings be in your equal state of righteous evolution in every moment of now? It's not very freeing. It's not a very freeing love. I thought love freed us. I thought it was liberating. Love, to me, is not a prison. It's not a prison. It's freeing. Are you in love? Are you in a relationship? Do you feel free? Well, you know, maybe there's some things to look at. Because oftentimes we are the enemy. We go, okay, lock me up. I'll be in this prison with you. And then go, this relationship's terrible. But we don't give voice to all kinds of things that could liberate in our hour of now. Who have you chosen to make an enemy of? What do you speak about when you speak about those that are getting it wrong, and why are they getting it wrong? And my question this day is, any enemy you found and anything on your list that you can write down, how are these things in a you too? You can always subscribe to Rare Bird Medicine on YouTube. I'm one.